This conference will now be recorded.
All right, great. Well, thank you everybody for coming out today and coming to our meeting. I'm Ann McMillan. I'm the chair of the College Outreach COI. This is our monthly call for the COI where we talk about stuff that's new, interesting, and things that are related to college outreach. So if you have any questions or things you think about after or any suggestions, please feel free to send me an email or give me a call. My info, I think, is on the calendar invite for this, and then it's also on the College Outreach COI page of SAME. So that's introductions. So I guess I'll turn it over to Eddie. Would you like to introduce Janine?
Sure. And I'm seeing on the invite list, it's the usual crew. So I don't think we've got anybody new. But for those of us that meet regularly, I want to introduce Janine Fenton. She is our new K-12 STEM outreach coordinator. So she's coming on board to take over leadership at the staff level of our K-12 STEM outreach COI, our camp COI, and our college outreach COI. And she'll be then paired up with my looking at young professional, enlisted, and leader development. So between both of us, and I just had a planning call with the young professionals. This is all a move towards providing more depth to a strategy we're going to develop called Guided Pathways that looks at all the ways that we introduce student members into bring them into SAME. The kinds of experiences that we offer student members, either camps or outreach activities, college fairs, that kind of thing, all the way through to what is our plan for when they graduate, whether from college or a trade school or community college, to invite them to join the professional levels. So we'll be coordinating all of that across all of our COIs into young professional COI as well. So Janine, do you want to just give us a little background, give everybody a little background where you came to us from?
Sure. Well, most recently I came to you from the American Society of Civil Engineers, where I did their pre-college outreach programming for them, assisting their members, their younger members or college students on best practices in how to reach that K-12 audience group. And during that, I was able to be part of preparing an IMAX film, a large screen film that's being shown at museums across the world called Dream Big, Engineering Our World, which by the way is also available on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, it's a great outreach tool because it talks about engineers and engineering and doesn't really mention disciplines, but then you can go into a school and maybe do a hands-on activity, and the activity suggestions are provided as the suite of materials. And before that, I have a really broad background in STEM education in general. I have worked for a variety of museums, including the Maryland Science Center and Liberty Science Center. I've also worked for the 4-H and for a library system that was doing a lot of STEM programming. And yes, in Harford County, Maryland, you can go and check Lego robotics kits out from the library or bridge building kits and take them home for a week, bring them back and check out something else. So a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and definitely if you have questions, let me know.
Thanks, Janine. Yeah, we're really fortunate that a lot of her background will be very applicable to the kinds of projects we want to be doing. And then, she'll also be growing into the college outreach areas as, bringing that experience to see how we can further support our student members. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Well, I'm going to send it right back to you, Eddie. Would you like to give the updates for COVID-19? I mean, hopefully this will be the last time we have to kind of talk about this as far as FM workshop and small business.
Right. Yeah, I think we're still down to our last two events for facility management workshop in July and PLW in August. Both those dates are set, and I think the call for presentations for FMW is already out. And we are
Small
already
business.
shifting.
I saw that one yesterday.
Small business, yeah, small business just got announced. Yep, right. I think FM has already closed. And then, so for small business is the first one that we will have in person with a hybrid component to it for folks that are still not going to be traveling. Yeah, I think at this point, once we complete PLW, we're switching gears to mostly in-person hybrid for next year. And that'll present us with another great opportunity to plan for Jetsey next year for our student members.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Awesome. All right. So our leadership updates, we had our last meeting June 7th, so that was last week. And we are working on finishing up our work plan for 2021 to 2022. And we're also working on our student forum or student mentor and student forum that happens in August. That's when it's in person, it will be co-located with the Post Leader Workshop, PLW, but this year it will be virtual since PLW will also be virtual. So we've been working on planning those two things as our primary topics of discussion last week. And also for our leadership team updates, if you're interested in getting more involved with the leadership team, we're always looking for more volunteers to take on projects, positions. If you have a little bit of time and just want to help us out with a specific thing, we're always looking for help. So let us know if you have an hour or a whole bunch more time that you want to volunteer our way. Two positions that we're looking to fill are the liaison to the young professionals and also an assistant to the vice chair of events. We're going to be doing more in-person things, and so I think Tiffany is going to need some help with that as we get to plan more cool things and get to do that in person and virtually in some combination thereof. So those are updates for our leadership team. If you have any questions about those positions and what they entail, feel free to let me know, and I will be happy to chat with you about those. Is Andra on? I don't think I see her. Eddie, would you be able to jump in with an update on virtual student chapter?
Sure. We have a virtual student chapter webinar tonight on personal branding at 6 p.m. This will be the second webinar that we do later in the evening. Last month we did, or 2 months ago, we did one at 5 p.m. and we got about 25 students. So we're just testing out some new time frames. So this will be the first time we do one at 6 p.m. For the East Coasters, which still gets somewhat into the day for the West Coasters. Victoria Meckley is going to be providing a workshop that she's done for leader development and for Jetsey before. So I think it's our last one for now, but Andra, Homer, Janine, and I have emailed about putting a call on the calendar. We just haven't set something up yet to strategize what's coming next. And then one of the things we'll want to talk about when we get to new business is thinking about a career fair, if that's something that we want to try to take on as part of our work plan. We had talked about the virtual student chapter hosting a career fair, a virtual career fair that would provide us an opportunity to engage our sustaining members, really for the first time in any coordinated way, our corporate members, and seeing how many of them offer internships and at the very least make them aware that we'd like them to recruit. I sent out an update on Monday to our student members with that included an internship appeal that one of our sustaining firms from Chicago emailed me about. So they're looking for 3 interns. Hewitt hosts 600 interns. So we think there's a really great opportunity there to use the virtual student chapter as our banner to highlight internship recruitment. I think that's it for now.
Excellent. All right. So I don't see Patrick online either, but I guess our student competition update is that it's done. We have winners. Yay. And I think Eddie, you sent out the list of the projects and the 3 winners. I think that came out today, correct? So folks can
Yes.
check their emails for more information about the projects that won, and stay tuned for seeing presentations from those winners in various formats to be decided.
Well, what we've settled on, I'm just waiting for the COIs to confirm, is I'm working with the health engineering task force. We had 3 projects that were selected as top projects. One was on developing a cost-effective ventilator. It was part of a challenge that the Citadel put on in response to COVID, where most of their teams worked on ventilator designs. So one of their projects submitted was one of our top projects. So we're trying to get them in front of the health engineering task force this summer to formally present on their concept and get feedback from industry members. Another project was looking at an energy efficient electronic deer repellent that could be installed to reduce animal vehicle collisions. And so we're trying to work with the energy and sustainability COI to get a presentation with them. And then the last group developed a strategy for dealing with sea level rise for the city of Boston. And so we're looking to have them, thanks Mike, we're looking to have them present to the resilience and environmental COIs. They're really interested, but they have their first available slot, which I'm still trying to push them on, is not until December. So I'm thinking that might be a little ways away, but right now that's the opportunity in front of us, so we'll see. But the point is that we want to get these student projects in front of industry in some way. And then next year, we're going to back the calendar up so that ideally we select the projects and we would invite them to come out to Jetsey and present at a Jetsey session as part of their being selected as a top project. So yeah, more to come.
Awesome, thank you. All right. All right, Jetsey. Well, Jetsey is done. And I think it was a very successful week for everybody. I know I got to attend some really cool sessions. And as the College Outreach COI, we got to do some events for our student members that attended Jetsey. And I think those are both very successful for our first go around of those. So we did a student-specific orientation for Jetsey and how it all works. And that included teaming up with the young professionals and the LDP to provide some mentors that these students could contact throughout the conference if they had questions or just needed help with anything during the week. And then we also, our second event was a networking event with the young professionals and LDP and the student members, and we got to play some fun games, and I think it went pretty well. I saw Tiffany, do you want to provide any more info on Jetsey and the events we did?
I think we have an after action meeting.
We do. I just didn't know if you wanted to tell everybody of anything else that you thought was interesting and fun that we got to do.
I feel like it was successful, although of course I'd like to figure out a way to get more students to show up. I feel like we ended up with a lot more LDP and YPs to show up, but relatively to how many students actually signed up for Jetsey to how many showed up to our event, it was a good relative number. Of course, I think we're trying to figure out how to get more students to show up to Jetsey in general. But yeah, I think we did good. That was my first national event too, so.
Congratulations. I think they went very well.
Yeah, it's all additive. To me, I think it's all additive. We haven't been having these kinds of opportunities, so I think, it's going to take a little bit for our students to see us in that way. But I had a leadership team call with the young professional leadership team this morning, and the new chair is Corey Weaver, who used to manage this COI. And he's really gung-ho about this connection between student members and young professionals. So I think we're going to see a lot more interesting support from the young professional COI to plan more of those kinds of events and think about what else we could be doing in the
Well,
future.
I was thinking as far as something that we might want to look at or try to promote is I know, let's say 10 years ago-ish, when Jetsey was trying to figure out how to get more young professionals to show up to Jetsey or JTC, they did a stipend, like full travel stipend for young professionals kind of thing. Is that something we might want to look into? Now, I know the actual registration is free, but as far as like room, you know, the travel there, and we're talking about in person for like travel and everything. And what it does is it inspires competition, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, you can win a free trip, whether it's us that funds it or we want to fund half and we want their like home post to fund half, or if they're from the virtual chapter, we fund the whole thing or something like that. I feel like if we have a competition, there might be more interest to show up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's always an option. I think what we would be looking at likely first is bringing students in for specific reasons and bringing specific students in, but creating a general guidance to the posts about, you know, that's something they should all be considering, because you know, for us, you know, like bringing in the winners of the, you know, Innovations Challenge next year, that will cost money if we're going to bring in and fly somebody. So we'll likely have ways or reasons to underwrite students' participation. But you know, a first step may be we create a value argument for posts to sponsor. Every post can sponsor a student, and then we have a gathering for them, you know,
And then,
that we plan.
yeah, that works. And maybe we add it to one of a criteria, like check mark kind of thing for our streamers as well. Like, if you sponsor one, you get extra points or whatnot.
Yeah, we'd have to get it ahead of that once, you know, for next cycle, because this year's cycle would have already, you know, all the criteria has already been set. But certainly, anytime we have an opportunity to advance, like with the Academy of Fellows, every time they go through investiture, a number of them will make comments about wanting to get engaged in STEM outreach or working with students. We should be on the lookout for those kinds of people and bring them in, you know, to offer guidance, to, you know, serve as mentors, to engage them in these kinds of discussions.
Agreed.
Okay, and we can talk more about it at our after action. I just, you know, that's just been on my mind where I was like, because I was a part of the first couple of classes that got to go to JTC via the stipend, and that's actually the reason why I started going to JTCs was because I won 2 stipends in a row. So I just feel like it's worth it to getting, you know, because it got me more engaged, and especially at the national level. So anyways, like I said, we can talk more about it later.
Sounds good.
I do still owe the prizes. I have the list of students and I have the hard hats. I just got them in. So at some point in the next week or so, I'll try to get those hard hats out to those students that we selected as winners.
Great. Thank you. All right. So our main topic for today that I wanted to cover was our work plan for 2021 and 2022. So we're working on updating our work plan for this year, and I just wanted to put the word out to the COI as well, in case anyone had any suggestions or questions or comments that they would like to see added to this year's work plan as far as the direction of the COI or things that we are working on or things like that. So I just wanted to put that out to everyone here. If there's any suggestions that you'd like to make, or also feel free to email them to me as well, or discuss, give me a phone call. I am around. So I just wanted to put that out to everybody today as far as we're working on the new work plan for the year that's currently started, but up to 2022. as far as where the COI is going. So if you have any thoughts on that that you'd like to discuss now or share, please let me know. And also, if you don't want to discuss on the call, feel free to send me an email or give me a call later. So I'm just going to open up the floor for discussion on that. If it helps, I have our goals of the COI from that we are updating from last year, that we're working off last year's to update for this year. We have that the College Outreach COI will prepare for succession planning, host a monthly SAMU-wide call, and provide regular communications to our community. Our second goal is to record and maintain a list of active student members, student chapters, and relevant student chapter POCs. We will sustain a virtual student chapter and make that virtual student chapter available to all of our student chapters and student members. Our fourth goal is to identify and recognize scholarship recipients across the society. Our fifth goal was to implement the student challenge, student competition, which we've done, and now we'll be working on updating that goal to continue our work with the student competition and expand that. Our sixth goal was to know and invest in leader-producing institutions with critical masses of military engineers. Our seventh goal was to promote student membership at national events. And those are the ones we had for last year. So that's what we're working as a baseline. And then if anybody has anything they'd like to discuss today, feel free to take the floor.
Yes, and this is Dick Cohannon from the San Antonio Post.
Hello, how are you?
I'd like to propose that that we work on an idea that we surfaced at the 2019 student chapter meeting, which was held in conjunction with the Post Leaders Workshop, and that's to create a new award for the Student Chapter Mentor Champion Award. This is to recognize the student chapter mentors from the Post. Right now, we have the Bliss Medal, which takes care of the faculty advisor. We have the Student Leadership Medal, which takes care of the students in the chapters. And I'm proposing that we have a medal or have an award for the student chapter mentors, the Post people that work with these student chapters on a regular basis. And I'm willing to take the lead on it, to draft up something, because I really like to get it done this year, get it approved.
So I will be very honest, I have no idea what that process is. Eddie or Janine, do you have any insight into how that works? Or is that something we would need to ask somebody else about?
Well, what I would need to get clarity on is, because this came up when we were talking about what was we have another award that I was asking whether it gets included in the Jetsey promotion of it.
It was the student chapter award.
So what I was told is that is not a national award, it is a COI award. So that is just on us to select, present, all that. I think this would be a similar question. I don't know where to be honest, it doesn't make sense to me that we would have national and versus COI specific awards that are still post-wide or national wide. But I feel like that means we can create our own awards and give them out within our own structure. If we want this to be a national award that we be presented at one of our national conferences, whatever Dick presents would then be forwarded to the scholarship and awards committee to review and give some sort of not judgment, but I guess validation of this being a national award, which means
I'm proposing a national award.
What's that?
I'm looking at it as a national award.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that, I think we're just gonna have to figure out what this process is and see what's involved. But I also would then say, let's put our student chapter award in that same process and get, if our student chapters are operating as national entities, then, I feel like they should be in that same level.
Well,
But I don't
the
know the formal
student
process.
chapter gets recognized by winning the Distinguished Student Chapter streamer. It's just like, there's no more top post awards. So-
Right, but there was one award that isn't part of the national awards.
Which one is that?
That's the one I thought it was that one that we
I
just.
thought it was the Distinguished Student Chapter
Yes,
award, or it's
That
just
one
a
is-
Distinguished Student Chapter. I don't know if it was a streamer or a specific award.
It's a streamer that the chapters submit every year. And the due date is April 15th. But during this COVID-19 situation, very few chapters submitted.
So here's what I'm talking about. We've got a list of awards that get presented at Jetsey, and then a list of awards that get presented at SBC, which aren't, I don't think is as relevant to us. The Jetsey ones, STEM champion, student leadership, and
Right.
yes, so that's what I mean. The Distinguished Student Chapter Award does not get awarded at JTC. When I inquired about it, I was told it's a COI award, so it gets awarded at a COI meeting. So that's one piece of feedback about a new award. If we want it to be at this level, at a Jetsey award level, I think we're going to need to bring it to the awards and what's it called? The Awards and Recognition Committee.
Okay.
But if we're doing that, I think we should also add the Distinguished Student Chapter as a national award proposal.
Okay, well, let me draft something up and I'll send it to you and Ann.
So Eddie, this is Cindy. I'm going to jump in real quick. This is Cindy. So the STEM Champion Award, I think is what it was called, was also at one point not a national award. So it was something that was proposed from the STEM into the awards and recognition. So I think there were some guideline information that if we are proposing new national awards, what needs to be in the white paper that goes to the Awards and Recognition Committee, COI. So Eddie, we might go back and check what the criteria is that needs to be included in the white paper for consideration by the Awards and Recognition. And then what happens is they bring it forth to the XC just for, that final stamp of approval as well.
Awesome.
I would
Okay.
probably keep the student chapter as a separate application, so to speak, as a separate white paper proposal, so
Right.
that the one proposal doesn't get, denied because one element isn't to their liking. So that would be two separate submissions.
Yeah,
I do
that's
know we've had a lot of conversations with these COIs at one point when we did the STEM one, that some people think we have too many awards and we're not getting enough applications in for the awards. I think this one may be a little different because mentoring is so much a part of everything our society is promoting. So if we could maybe help Dick by just making sure he has the elements that need to be included in that white paper, that would be great.
Okay, that's good feedback. Thanks. I will start an email to Jill right now and see if I can get that criteria. All right, so I guess part of this discussion and that I mentioned to Dick is just our concurrence about the award. We could look at that proposal and make an official decision as a COI, or if we want to decide on it. But I was saying it, needs to be part of the work plan if this is something we're gonna, put some legs on this coming program year.
Yeah, Dick, if you don't mind taking the lead on that after you get the information from Eddie, we can add that as a work plan goal to assess our current awards and see which ones need to be moved forward for next year or for this year, throughout this year. The goal can be to assess all of our current awards and assess the need for new ones. So Dick, yeah, if you don't mind taking the lead on that, that would be great. And I will add that to the work plan.
No problem. Put my name by it.
Thanks, Dick.
On there with a star. All right. Did anyone else have anything else they would like to suggest or discuss about the work plan? All right. So I think the next thing was Eddie, since one of them does involve scholarships, is there any update as far as the scholarships? I know that was kind of on the back burner for a little while.
Yeah, it still is. We are moving forward with, actually back to Dick, with San Antonio joining the portal. So that gives us San Antonio, Alaska, and San Diego as posts that are going to start using our portal. I did meet with Natasha, who's going to be managing who's overseeing our transition to our new database. Dick, I know there's dates all over the map. I'm sorry, I can't really give you any more definitive information. I'm on the downstream end of all of that too. So, until I get told something is in place, I'm assuming the current system is our system. But when we are able to implement the new database, there is a module we're getting that's going to facilitate all different kinds of applications. So it'll make it easier to host post-scholarship application processes.
Okay, we're still on for July 1 though, right?
Yes, yeah. For you, as far as your case, we still want to be able to utilize the system we currently have. So July 1st, we'll talk to you about all those parameters. And then as soon as Janine and I can regroup a little more, she's kind of focused on camps and K-12 right now, but scholarships is a big action item that I want to bring back the draft that I had started on the guidance manual, so that we can get a more post prepped to join the portal if that's something that interests them. But I want to get the guidance manual done as well.
I'll tell you, one other question I had is, do we have a plan within our COI to help with the evaluation of the streamer tasks that posts have been loading in to the new streamer system that relate to college outreach?
I don't know there isn't a standing group within us. I think we wait until we get told what the need is, and then
Okay.
like Ann, we had a team review the Distinguished Student Chapter Awards. I mean, we get told when we're needed, and then we mobilize a group to do it.
Correct. So we are requested to provide a group to review the two medals, the Bliss and the Student Leadership Medal. But as far as anything from the streamer information, that's not something that I've seen come through as far as a summary or a report about what the posts are reporting for student chapters. That might be something we need to ask for.
Yeah, it's
I think
it's
that's
a little
good,
bit.
now that it's all digital, and that's all in that new platform, it might be something that we can get sort of a summarized report of what the posts are reporting. That might help us communicate with our student chapters a little bit more. So that might be a tool that we can use. I can ask about that.
Yeah, I got to be honest, I'm not tracking the streamer stuff just because I feel like it always happens at the periphery of what we do as a COI. So I'm going to need help understanding where we have questions in that. Jill is our main staff contact. So, I would say as much as you can, just forward the questions directly to her to get answers, because I'm not going to be a good go-between.
No, I think that's a good question to ask, is just since we have this new platform, does it give us information that maybe we didn't have before that we can use as a COI to assess what our student chapters are actually doing and what they're reporting? And that might actually help Marilyn as far as what student chapters are active and maybe ones that she should reach out and communicate with.
Well, I'll just
I
tell
can-
you from a post perspective, they created this streamer system, okay? A great system that post can enter their activities that meet the task in the new strategic plan. We've already loaded over 1,900 points. 6 months have gone by and, we have no feedback. Our understanding it was going to be a continuous system. So I think, well, we need to get some answers at the post level. What's happening? Or is it just going to be one evaluation at the end of the year like it was before, except now you've already submitted it online rather than submit a written report, a written streamer. So it's something worthwhile. I mean, and there are college outreach items within the STEM goal that I think as a COI, we would be part of the evaluation of.
In this, I think there's an opportunity here to connect with Maggie, the new post relations coordinator, to just suss this out, because we haven't been formally engaged as far as a COI on ensuring some sort of strategy is being worked on, on an outreach strategy on a monthly, regular basis that you're referencing. So if there's something missing there, there's no instructions that I'm getting that, where we have a role in it right now.
I think, Eddie, I think Eric Wilbur has been asking you about the ones related to leadership development.
Right, and they're having the same conversations with Jill, because again, those processes aren't happening through the COI. They're happening, however, I got to be honest, I don't know how they're happening.
Okay.
I don't know who's providing those instructions and how the COIs are supposed to be getting engaged in that, or if we actually have a role. Yeah.
Okay, well, just be food for thought.
Okay. Yeah, and maybe it's at some point it's you, leader development, all the COIs that have streamers, just get a collective email together to Jill and Maggie, the new post relations person, and try to get some feedback.
So Dick, is that something you want to coordinate with Jill and ask your questions, or would you like me to send an email to Jill and Maggie? If you're talking,
I think it'd be better if it came from you.
okay, I can do that. Great, I'll CC you on it just so you can jump in if there's anything I missed. How about that?
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks, Dick. Thanks, Ann.
Anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss? I think other than that, we just have our call for if anyone has topics for future webinar, future virtual student chapter webinars, please always send those our way. If you hear cool things that you think would be great for our student members, please send those along. And also, if you have anything that you would like to have be covered as the topic for the monthly COI calls, please let me know. We're always here to help you. If you have questions, always send me an email, or I can point you in the right direction. Do we have any, oh, sorry, I missed. Do we have any updates from our liaisons or other COIs that folks would like to share? All right, well, I won't keep everybody. So if you have anything else, feel free to reach out, and otherwise have a wonderful rest of your day.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.